Yo, what's going on, boys? Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing an updated 2024 video on how to make custom clothing for FiveM or GTA. This tutorial is just going to go over from basically start to finish how to download OpenIV, how to use OpenIV, and then how to actually use Photoshop or any other software that you're going to use to make the stuff, and then how to put it together to make the clothing. So without further ado, let's get into it. Make sure that you subscribe if you enjoy this content and drop a like. So to start off, you are going to obviously want to download OpenIV. So just go to Google, whatever you use, and just search up OpenIV. So it will come up like this, and you just press download here. It will give you a little thing. You open it up, and after you've opened it, it will give you something like this. Really simple. It might ask you to find the file for where GTA is or something like that. It's super easy. Just find where it is, and it shouldn't be too confusing. It should tell you exactly what you need to do. But to start, obviously we want to do it for GTA 5. So we click Windows because that's what we're on right now, and that's what we're going to be playing on. And then you want to. This will come up. First thing you want to do whenever you're editing anything for clothing, you want to press Edit Mode, because this means that you can just edit the files. This is kind of like, go think of it as this is the GTA files. So you want to just edit mode so you can actually edit it, so you can adjust the files, you can export it, all of that. And then you want to go to the mods folder. If you don't have the mods folder, all you have to do is at the top, you just press this create folder, and it will basically just create a mods folder here. And this is just where you can keep everything. Make sure you call it mods all lowercase like this. And then once you bring it up, it'll be empty for you, but this is where you put everything that you want to use. So you want to also have your desktop open. So for us, I've already made it. I'll show you how to do it. I'm just going to be showing you how to do a FiveM gang flag. But you want to just basically create a folder on your desktop, call it gang flag. Super simple. Keep it right here on your desktop, and then wherever it is that you're getting the files from. So this gang flag, you can actually go into my Discord in the description, and there's a bunch of templates that you can use, and a bunch of files that are free to use. No worries about that. And you can use that for any clothing that you want. But yeah, so once you have it, obviously you need to get the two files. So the files that you need is a YTD and a YDD. So if you look at the end of this right here, you see how it is .YDD and the other one's .YTD. These are the two files that you need. Basically the .YTD is like the texture basically. So this is what you'll be editing to make the flag, and this is what it will look like at the end. And then this is the model. So obviously it's orange right now. This is what happens when there's just no texture on it. If it does look like this for you, and you've because obviously if you look at this is red, and it's got a pattern, and then this right here, it's just orange, it's plain, there's nothing going on. All you do if you see this and you're stressing out, just in the bottom right, add texture, and then as long as you've set it up the same way where it's together in a file, in a folder, you just do add texture and then add it, and then this will bring it up. Okay, so now that you have these two together and they're sorted in the thing, it should look something like this. Make sure it does. You now obviously want to make it. So obviously I don't want just a plain red flag. So if you want to edit it, what you do is you do export selected. This will basically export this that you've that's right here. And then you just want to go to your desktop, and then right here, gang flag. And then you want to go PNG. And you just want to call it, you can call it whatever you want. Usually I just keep it the same name just because it's easier. This is called this for some reason, but sometimes it will say something like jbib dot something like that, all that kind of stuff. So don't worry if the name's different, it's not too important. But you can change it to like gang flag if you want, but I usually just keep it the same. And you want to make sure at the bottom you switch it from a DDS file to a PNG file. Just save it somewhere. It doesn't actually matter where you save it, but I just find it easier and more organized to save it in the same place where I originally had the files. So you do it, and then obviously it's in here. So then once you've done that, you want to open up Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, I know that there is something online called Photopea. It's basically Photoshop but like online. it's a little bit worse obviously because it's free, but you can basically do everything the same here. There'll be other YouTube tutorials where you can find out how to use it. I'm not going to go over it right now. You want to go open in the top left, and then obviously go to your desktop, find where it was that you put it, and then you just click on the exact file that you saved earlier. So this will open it up in OpenIV and Photoshop. So this will just open up in Photoshop and it will be sorted like that. Obviously the bigger you make it, the more like laggy it could be for your server or different issues. So usually you can, it depends on kind of if there's a requirement for the server that you play on, but you can go to image size, and if you want it to be better, you can make the resolution 300 and it will just kind of make it bigger and more like get a higher res, so it won't be as blurry. So obviously I really don't like this idea, but I'm gonna lock that bomb layer because obviously I want it to, I don't want to be adjusting it, because if I want to frame it, then I'll need to reference it to this, because sometimes it's not as easy as this. This is just a flag, so whatever you put on here is going to be the flag, but sometimes for clothing it's all mixed and matched across the screen and you have to work out where things actually are. So that's why I usually just lock the layer straight away. So I'm just going to do something simple, because obviously I'm not going to sit here for ages making something, but this is basically just your canvas for how you want to do it. So like maybe if you want to have like flag like this, that's a black flag, something like these two stripes that go like on either side, then obviously you can just make it. So obviously something simple, but you can then look at what this looks like, and you can just go here and export, quick export as PNG. So it's just file, quick export as PNG, and then obviously desktop, go back to where you were, everything you want to save in here to keep it nice and organized and together, and then save it in the same place. It will say, do you want to replace it? You do want to replace it, because obviously you still have this, so realistically if you wanted to restart, you could just delete all these layers and it goes back to originally how it was. So then once you've saved it, you want to go back to here, because this is obviously where your texture is, and you just want to press replace in the top right, and right here it will be the new one that you had just exported. So you do that. Obviously it will look a bit weird in here because it's just a photo. Press save, and then open up the text, the model, add texture, and then boom, we've got the flag. So it's basically, you can just make it however you want. You can add text, you can do whatever you want. You can just keep testing to see what it looks like, because obviously this is what it will look like in game. And yeah, you could just keep going and see if you wanted to add text, just add anything simple, and it will, same process, quick export, save, and then you just want to replace it in here again, and it will be the new version. Open it up, add texture, and boom, you can see it says game. So that is how you make it, and yeah, it's nice and simple. Hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. After this I am going to be going through the comments of the last video, and I'm going to be answering some of the questions that people had in the comments, and it's going to be in this video but right after this. So if you do have any questions that need answering, then you could just scroll through, there'll be timestamps, and you can see if your question gets answered in one of them. If not, you can join the Discord, ask in the Discord, or you could just ask in the comments and I will try to do my best to answer. But yeah, that is a very simple, quick tutorial on how to make the custom clothing, and hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys in the next one. Just as a little thing to add as well, I will be actually making custom clothing for people if you need it. So if you join the Discord in the link in the description, there'll be a channel that will be basically where you can just make a ticket, and if you need any clothing made for FiveM, for your gang maybe, or for your city, anything like that, just make a ticket. You can add me in it, you can ask me any questions, I'll see what I can do, and I'd be happy to make clothing. Obviously it would be paid, it's not going to be free, but the prices aren't that bad for how long it takes me to do it and kind of the effort that I put in. There's also previews as well, but this isn't really an ad, but let's just get into the questions that you guys had in the comments and I'll be answering them. Alright, so our first comment, as you can see on the screen, these guys are asking about having no folder. I did explain it earlier in the video, but I'll be going into more detail quickly on if you don't have the folder. So obviously you open it up. This is the mods folder that obviously you're supposed to have. Edit mode, make sure you do edit mode. And then if you click on GTA 5 at the top here, you press this button right here, okay? What it'll do is it'll create a new folder here. So I'm just gonna call mine mods 2 because I don't want to like replace it. You call it mods 2, and then right here, if you just call it mods, it will be purple just like this. But obviously you'll make it like this, and there you go. It will, you can drag it to the top, I'm pretty sure, in the files, but you could just have it here. But that is how you make the mods folder. So the next comment that someone had was, any of this costs money other than buying the clothes or anything? So none of it costs money except from Photoshop. Photoshop's the only software that costs money that you have to use. OpenIV is free, and you can find lots of free templates and clothing designs on the internet. You can also look at my Discord. I'm gonna try and update as many templates and kind of files as I can to help you guys. But a great website is GTA 5 mods. You can use that for downloading stuff. Just make sure it has the correct files in it. And obviously that you don't download anything dodgy, but the website is pretty safe. I've used it a bunch and never had any issues. So yeah, apart from Photoshop, everything else should be free. If obviously you don't have access to Photoshop, like I said, you can use Photopea, and the link will be in the description for that. Is it possible to make a variant of this t-shirt so that there are 2 of them? So this can be done very easily. All that you need to do for this is, obviously you have the folder where you originally had those 2 files in. Just open it up and you'll see that there's the 2 files right here. So if you look carefully, obviously this is the model file and then this is the texture. So you don't have to make 2 models because you can use the same model and then just switch between the textures. All you have to do is make another texture file. So all you do is, me personally, what I do is I will copy it, paste it, and it will bring it like this, okay? And then you do show options, rename. You want to then delete from where after the I to copy. So basically make it the exact same, but before you do enter, right here where it says A, you want to change that to B. So that's now texture B for this model. So just like before, open up OpenIV in the mods folder, drag it, and then when you open it, you'll see right here that there's 1 model, and then there's the 2 textures. So right here, texture 1, texture 2. Obviously it's the same thing, but right here, if you replace this with something else, so if I just replace this with literally some random image, you'll see that obviously it looks like that. And then if you see, so this will change it, so it's this one, and then if I want to go back to the other one, then it works like that. So you can just have these as 2 different things that can be used for making your different textures. So just make sure if you want to add more, you continue with the same thing, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, blah, 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 continuing on down the alphabet, and then that will just give you multiple different versions of the same t-shirt that you can use as like different textures. If you want maybe a black version and a white version of a t-shirt, then that is how you do it. Why can't I resize the image that I copy? So this is more just a Photoshop tip, which I will help you because it's very simple, and it's something that obviously you will need to use a lot to resize it for whenever you're making clothing, because you have to resize on the page, make it fit well. Anything that you put on your screen, so right here we just have a box just to make it easier, make it black. It's the same with images that you copy and paste off the internet. All you want to do is press Ctrl-T and it will bring up a box like this. You can then resize it like this. You can hold Shift and it will a bit more like free transform it. And then you can also hold Control and it will do it like this. So that's kind of how you do it. If you hold it normally, you will resize the whole image from the size that you do it. And then you can turn it by just hitting a corner like that. That is how you resize your images that you copy and paste. Any reason it just makes the clothes orange. So this is something that I had to deal with a while ago when I first started. It was very painful. No one ever showed me how to get rid of it. So I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can fix this issue because I know a lot of people have it. So what you want to do is, if you look here, they both look fine. Using the same flag that we used earlier, this looks fine. And then this is just another test. It's literally just a plain photo just to test the different clothing I made. But if you look right here, you go on the flag, it's orange. This means there's no texture added. If I add the texture, this one, that works perfectly. But then if I add the second texture, you'll see that the image doesn't come up, okay? And this is what can happen to a lot of people if they download it off the internet. It will just make it orange, and it's just really annoying because you don't really understand why this is happening. So if this does happen to you, it's because there's an issue with what this is named, not here, but when you click into it. If you see right here, I've done this on purpose just so it doesn't work, but right here it says text 0007 and then 01231, okay? If you look at this one, it doesn't have the 01231, and that's why this one works, because that's the correct one. So what you want to do, if you don't know what the correct name is that it's supposed to be, you want to go to your model, press more information, and it'll bring up this, okay? Then from here you press shaders, and then you press on the ped, and then right here it will give you the name of what it should be right here, this value right here under diffuse sampler. So what we're going to do is click on it, right click, copy line, and then you go back off this, go into your texture, in the top right, rename, and then you paste what it gave you, okay? Obviously this is too much. It's the same every time. You want to delete the external and up to there, and then you want to go before this bit here, so text, and then delete that. Should be exactly how it was in the thing. Press OK, save, and then now when you go onto this and you try your texture 2, it will work because it's the same name. So make sure that you do that if your texture is not loading up. Final question, does this work for GTA 5? Yes.